Hi everyone, I'm Kat, also known as the Cat's Meow, and welcome to another episode of Engage by Uplift. I'm here with Kat Blaque, Skittlez, and Lindsey Doe.
Hello.
Today we'll be tackling bystander intervention. So let's just dive right in. Knowing when to intervene is really difficult, so what are some telltale signs that you should intervene?
Your gut. If you feel it in your body that you're afraid, then the other person experiencing whatever it is probably really scared too.
Why do you think it's so hard for people to intervene?
Bystander effect. The more people that are in a room or in a situation, the less likely people are to respond and intervene.
Coming from New York, it's real easy to kind of put your blinders on and not notice the people around you because you just on the train or on the go or whatever.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I remember a particular event in New York City on a train, and it was pretty crowded, and there was this guy who just whipped it out and started masturbating. But to me specifically, I felt very helpless. I froze. And then I just remember scanning the rest of the train and being with my eyes basically saying help, and not one person. People looked up, looked at me, and were oh, bye.
I think people think they're supposed to say something to the perpetrator, and I don't think that has to be the case. I think you can be loud and just talk in general to get more attention on the situation, but most of us carry cell phones at this point, and to get on the phone and talk it out with someone else to say something is going on here and I don't feel good about it.
So whenever I see one of my girlfriends be in an interaction that isn't safe, I try to buck up, throw all the gay out, and just use my size as a tool to help that out.
But if maybe it's a sketchy situation, maybe with a friend that you don't know if it's a safe interaction, I always find that you can go up to that individual. Something that I like to do is ask for the time. I know it sounds really funny, and I understand that we most of us have phones with our time on it, but just do anything that can cause a moment, disruption.
Yeah. I was gonna say just something as simple as oh, are you okay? How are you? Just trying to break it up. I think I'm very wary of people jumping in and being very aggressive. You never know how that could go. I feel I've seen several situations where I've wanted to speak up, but I don't know how that's gonna go for me. And maybe that's probably bad. That I feel oh my God, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna hurt me?
Are there other approaches that come to mind?
People often they'll do the trick of pretending that they know that person a lot better, of saying, oh hey, yeah, let's go get a burger or something like that, or honey, are you ready to go, and pretending to be their partner and whisking them away.
It's almost doing something is better than nothing. It's you can maybe you're wrong, maybe you misread the situation, maybe they're okay, but maybe it wasn't going to be that way.
I guess I am such a huge advocate for going with action rather than inaction.
I know a lot of videos are going viral because they're filming things that are going on the train, and I'm wondering how that could possibly be a way to be bystander intervention, maybe?
Have you ever been in a situation where you yourself were in trouble and kind of wish that someone would intervene?
Once I turned 16, guys on the train would cruise, and so what they do is they'll have their penis all erect, and they'll try and persuade you to either get off with them and go with them, or do something on the train right there. The first time it ever happened to me, he followed me from the Bronx to the steps of my high school, and it was just it was terrifying.
Street harassment for me is a big issue on many levels, and that's kind of one of the situations where I always wish that someone would say something, because it's so blatant and it's so out there that it's I don't know how anyone could see that this man I don't know, who's following me down the street and has been doing so for blocks, that I'm not interested in that. How do you not see that? And there's been so many times, especially because street harassment works, it's you ignore them then you've got a group of men calling you a whore, you're a slut, you're this, you're that. And I'm like, how are we in a situation where people aren't turning to them and being like, hey dude, like, you know, don't say that.
And I'd like to give some credit to Feminista Jones, who has the hashtag You Okay Sis, and I think that's one of the most important things that we can do as bystanders is, at the very least, if you have witnessed an entire interaction, can you please go up to the person who has just been assaulted or harassed and ask them if they're okay, because that brings a lot of humanity to someone, you know? Thank you so much again for speaking up and lending your voices to this. Alright, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to answer the call to action. Use the hashtag #EngageUplift on social media, or just leave a comment down below. And while you're at it, give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and subscribe, because why not? Alright, thank you so much for watching. I'm Kat Lazo of the Cat's Meow. Bye.